Good morning, students. In the previous class, we had discussed about the binary fission, and it is of different types. In the beginning, we have told that reproduction mainly it is of two types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place by different methods. First method we have discussed, that is called the fission. Fission is of different types. 4 types: binary fission, and one I have added, which is called gamete formation. 4 types: binary fission, multiple fission, sporulation, strobulation, and gamete formation. Binary fission, it is at 4 different types according to the plane of division. First one we have discussed, simply irregular binary fission in amoeba, where the animal body is irregular in shape. Second type, it is called transverse binary fission, we have seen in paramecium. Third case, we have seen longitudinal binary fission in case of euglena. And fourth one, oblique binary fission, which have been discussed, that is called ceratium. Now next we are going to discuss second type of asexual reproduction, which is called the multiple fission. Multiple fission, certain variation we can see, which is called the repeated fission. One by one we will be discussing. In multiple fission, the parent's body divides into many similar daughter cells simultaneously, one after another. So what is happening? First, the nucleus divides repeatedly without the division of cytoplasm. Later, the cytoplasm divides many parts as that of nuclei. That means how many nuclei will be formed, that many number of cytoplasm also will be formed. That is called, the cytoplasm divides into as many parts as that of nuclei. Each cytoplasmic part encircles one daughter nucleus. This results in the formation of many smaller individuals from a single parent organism. It has been shown here. Just that is one example. First, nucleus has been divided and cytoplasm also has been encircled, and it has been shown here. So many daughter individuals, young individuals will be produced from a single parent organism. If repeated multiple fission, if multiple fission produces 4 to many daughter individuals by equal cell division, and the young ones do not separate until the process is complete, then this division is considered as repeated fission. Example, Botticella. Examples are very, very important. Now next part, we are going, multiple fission also can be seen in Plasmodium, which is considered as unicellular protozoa. Plasmodium, which is responsible for causing the malarial fever. Multiple fission in Plasmodium occurs in 2 stages in the life cycle. First stage is called the schizont. You have to keep in your memory. Another one is called the oocyte stage, and the different terms are used of the products of these stages. When the multiple fission occurs in schizont stage, the process is called schizogony, and the daughter cells or individuals are called merozoites. So due to schizogony, the merozoites will be produced. And when the oocyte stage, the multiple fission occurs in oocyte, it is called the sporogony. The process is called sporogony, and the young ones are called the sporozoites. One more question may come like this: in Plasmodium, multiple fission occurs in 2 stages, schizont stage and the oocyte stage. Schizont stage is called the schizogony, and the products are called the merozoites. And oocyte stage, the stage is called the sporogony, and the products or individuals are called the sporozoites. Now next, during unfavorable condition, unfavorable means increased temperature, very high temperature or low temperature, scarcity of food is not available. Amoeba withdraws its pseudopodia and secretes a 3-layered protective chitinous cyst wall around it and becomes inactive. This phenomenon is called encystment. What do you mean by encystment? You can see the diagram here. Unfavorable, when the condition will be unfavorable, the pseudopodia will be withdrawn, and around the cell 3 consecutive layers will be developing. This is first, second, third layer will be developing, and the total cytoplasmic content will be protected by this 3-layered structure. The structure is called cyst, and the process of formation of cyst is called the encystment. Inside that 3-layered structure, when the conditions become favorable, the encysted amoeba divides its nucleus by multiple fission and produces very minute, so many minute amoebae called pseudopodiospore, or it is also, they are also called amoebulae, very minute structures. The cyst wall absorb, when the condition will become favorable, what will happen? The nucleus is dividing repeatedly and forming the amoebulae or pseudopodiospore. The cyst wall absorbs water and breaks off. Wall will be breaks off, liberating the young pseudopodiospores or amoebulae, each with a fine pseudopodia. They feed and grow rapidly to form to lead an independent life. So this is another type of multiple fission takes place in amoeba when the condition is unfavorable, which is called encystment. Now next, in some metazoan animal, metazoan means we know the animal's body, whose body is made up of so many cells. That is metazoan animals, multicellular animals. A special type of transverse fission called the strobylation occurs. In the process of strobylation, several transverse fissions occur, but giving rise to a number of individuals which often do not separate. Suppose here in case Aurelia, we can see strobylation in Aurelia, it is called transverse fission has taken. This is the normal body, fission has taken place, and all will be attached with one another. They will be not separating from each other. If they separate from each other, they will give rise to the young one from the other. Example is Aurelia. So in Aurelia only we can see the strobylation formation. Strobylation is a type of asexual reproduction. Now next method, it is called plasmotomy. Very important 2 marks question is the division of multinucleated parent into many multinucleated daughter individuals with the division of nuclei. Nuclear division occurs later to maintain the normal number of nuclei. Plasmotomy occurs in Opalina and Pelomyxa. Example also they are asking 1 more question. Now next, during unfavorable conditions, amoeba multiplied by sporulation without encystment. Nucleus breaks up into several small fragments or chromatin blocks. Each fragment develops into nuclear membrane, here nuclear blocks, and it is surrounded by nuclear membrane. Now nuclear membrane will be around it, the cytoplasm also will be arranged to form a spore case like structure. So each one on structures, they are called the spore case. So each fragment develops nuclear membrane, becomes surrounded by the cytoplasm and develops a spore case around it. When the conditions become favorable, the parent body will disintegrate. This body will disintegrate and spore cases will come out, and it will develop, it will lead an individual life. This parent's body disintegrates and the spores are liberated, each hatching into new amoeba. Each one will be giving rise to a new amoeba. Now next part, in budding. Budding, the parent body produces 1 or more buds, and each bud grows into young one. The buds separate from the parent to lead a normal life. In sponge, generally we know, Hydra also will be discussing, the buds constrict at the point of attachment with the parent and detach from the parent's body, and the bud develops into a new sponge. So this is the general topic. In general, the buds are two types. When the buds are formed on the outer surface of the parent's body, it is called the exogenous bud, or exogenous budding method is called. Example is hydra. In hydra, when the food is plenty, that means in favorable condition, the ectoderm cells increase and form a small elevation, small swelling on the body surface. Ectoderm and endoderm are pushed out to form a bud. The bud contains an interior lumen connection with the parent's body, which is called the gastrovascular cavity. That lumen is called gastrovascular cavity. The bud enlarges, develops a mouth and a circle of tentacles at its free end. If we see here, bud formation has taken place, then bud will be growing gradually with form tentacles at its free end. When the bud will become large, the bud enlarges, develop a mouth and a circle of tentacles at its free end. When fully grown, the bud constricts at the base point of attachment with the parent, and finally separates from the parent body and leads to an independent life. That is called exogenous bud. Thank you, children.